Hi, I'm Dr. Kerry Atkinson from the Criminal Justice Program at Texas Wesleyan University. And today I'd like to share with you some teaching insights about mentorship. Mentorship is one of the things we pride ourselves on. And part of that is because we have the smaller, smarter mentality here. We really want to engage with our students. We really want to connect with our students. And the mentor relationships we develop with them are incredibly helpful in terms of not only their academic success, but as well as their social and their professional success. In particular, they're going to be going out into the field and doing important work in the real world. And so the experience we bring to the table as faculty, the network connections that we have in our community, those are all part of the mentor relationship so that we can share these things with students so that they can prepare themselves for going out into the real world and having success, making a positive difference in their communities. A lot of our students can benefit from developing professional skills, communication skills, interpersonal resiliency skills. And so by emulating these skills to our students and talking to our students about these skills and giving them an opportunity to practice these skills, the mentorship relationship allows them to develop these skills, and so they can take them out with them into the field. A lot of students stress out about the jobs they're going to get or how they're going to be professionally successful. And so by developing really good mentorship relationships with our students, we can help not only guide them into the professional world, but provide a safe space for them to talk about things that are important to them. Career interests, of course, are part of that, but also the real life issues that they're dealing with in their personal lives, as well as the academic struggles that they might be having. It's pretty unusual for students to go through 4 years of an undergraduate degree and have their lives go perfectly. And so we know they're going to meet challenges from time to time. And by developing close personal relationships with our students, where they have a safe space to talk about what's going on in their lives, where they can connect with us and where they can bond with us, so that we can, develop these very positive interpersonal relationships with them that allow them to not only survive the university experience, but to thrive while they're here. And then one of the great things about mentorship is that it fully embodies the core values of Texas Wesleyan University. Courage is really important. It takes a lot of courage for students to reach out to faculty members. They're not always prepared for coming into a professional world and having the confidence that they need to succeed. And so it takes a lot of courage for them to reach out to us and to start developing these relationships. Also, related to that is compassion. And I think that's one of the strengths of the mentor relationship. We know what students are going through, know what it's like to try to get started. I know what it's like to try to struggle to make connections and to have people in your life that support you and nurture you. And I think that's one of the strengths that we bring with our mentorship relationships with our students. And of course, commitment, that we really want students to engage. We really want students to make sure that they're getting everything that they can out of their experience at Texas Wesleyan University. And part of that means committing themselves to developing relationships with faculty. We will commit to doing everything we can to help them grow, to nurture them, to provide stability and safe spaces for them to talk about the things that are important to them, and to help them develop the skills that they need to go out in the real world and make a positive impact in people's lives. And then finally, to me, this is really the most important of all the 4 core values, and that's connection. And I think with the smaller atmosphere we have here, the smaller class sizes, we're able to really connect one-on-one with our students, and the best mentor relationships come from these one-on-one connections. We're able to better serve them as they progress through the university and go out into the real world. And one of the best things about all of this is mentor relationships don't end when students graduate. And this is where the magic happens. This is where mentorship relationships begin in the classroom. It's our first opportunity to get to know students. It's where we spend the majority of our time with our students. And so I'd like to offer a few little tips and tricks about how to develop mentor relationships with students. The most important number 1 rule for developing good mentor relationships is to be passionate about engaging with students and be passionate about connecting with them. I find it very helpful to be explicit about how important it is to develop mentor relationships with students. And so I'll even take time out of class here and there to let students know, hey, you get what you put into it. And so if you make appointments with us, if you drop by our offices during our office hours, if you get to know us a little bit, those are the beginnings of the mentor relationship. I would also recommend, when developing relationships with students, is to ask questions that allow them to explore what's important to them career-wise, what's important to them personally. And so when students do make appointments to come into my office and we're developing a mentor relationship, one of the first questions I'll ask them is, what are their career goals? I will say that the most common response that we get from students is they're not sure what they want to do with their lives. And I tell them, that's what you're here to find out. That's why we're here to help you. And so by asking questions about their career interests, it allows us to better gear and customize our responses to each individual student's unique needs. And then you have to be transparent. You have to be personable. You have to be authentic. And I think students really appreciate when they know we genuinely care about them, when they can see from their interactions with us in the office and in the classroom that we genuinely care about them as a human being, that we genuinely care about their career goals and their career dreams and their interests. And so these are all aspects that really help make mentor relationships strong. They help make them rewarding for not just the student, but also the faculty members. And in the long run, that's what helps us make these connections that exist way above and beyond what happens in the classroom, that students can actually take with them into the real world, so that anytime they need help, anytime they need assistance, and sometimes, honestly, it's just they need a word of reassurance as they're struggling out there, they can always reach back out to us, because that's what our mentor relationships are really all about.